Thursday, July the 25th, 2019. I posted Anachronism 2884. And it is called 2884. I repeated. This I've done a couple of times. I mean, why I ever decided to do these in Roman numerals, I'll never know. So this should have been 2885, but it wasn't. But it was posted Thursday, July 25th, 2019. It's called Mouth Love, to differentiate it from the previous one, 2008. Same poem and same title, but that one was called Then I Realized I Had Fallen Asleep. Just for the record. Can we not hold it against ourselves when we hold ourselves against others? The other may be rather fond of such mouth love, just as we are. Sure, sometimes it smarts to chip a couple of teeth or have one broken in half. It hurts especially to have one shoved wholly halfway down one's throat. And no laughing gas around. Trust me, I've been there. We've all been there. Am I right? Anyway, unrelatedly, I went to something called laugh therapy a few weeks ago with Cassandra. First of all, Polk Gulch is no laughing matter. Take my word for it and do not mention to anyone, especially someone intent on laughing for an hour or two. I still wish I knew how this actually works, but color me skeptic. Color me a skeptic that they're in the gulch. It's no laughing matter, let me tell you. And if you happen to be at the home of someone who resides there, ask what it's like being up the gulch these days, or query with, what's it like to walk to the corner store for a cigarette at 2 in the morning? Or have you met any nice neighbors yet? In my defense, I had no idea. It had already been a decade this poor lady had survived in such a nightmare of a slum. I don't know why I'm calling it a slum here, although it was kind of anyway. It's like all of San Francisco. Neighborhoods, places, streets change. That was the original gay spot, or the one before the Castro. Polk Gulch, and where John Wieners, I guess, wrote the Hotel Wembley poems. Anyway, I had no idea it had already been a decade this poor lady had survived in such a nightmare of a slum. To each his own, I say, but man, home is where the heart is, and home is mighty strong word for any place in the gulch. Gosh, Dell. Anyway, I say this I don't know, maybe I'm trying to do a personality here. I say this just in case you are not personally aware of this. God's word for me to you. Just mark my words. See, he chuckles. I have a terrific sense of humor. But do you know what they told me at this laugh therapy session that Cassandra dragged me to? There's no Cassandra either, by the way. I really don't know. I don't think I ever went to a laugh therapy session either. This is uh, slightly before I really did a lot of narrative, made up stuff, longer stuff. But this is one. I guess this is one of them. After about 5 minutes, no less, it was two words: get out. Not that I hesitated in the least, but they did add a few more as I was picking up my belongings and walking out the door. They proclaimed that this was absolutely no place for sarcasm. Ah, the nerve. There weren't even any placards warning anyone what a serious thing this laughter is. Not even anything on the big blow up beach balls or the purple balloons. No, take your sarcasm and shove it. No, nothing. And yet I found myself laughing hysterically. That god-awful, terrifying laugh of mine, when it does show up, it shakes me to the core. Yet it was even more real, this laughter, if you can imagine. Such a relief from that humorless lack of hospitability. Sour pusses, each and every one of them. But there's me laughing for 2, maybe 3 entire blocks straight, directly away from the farcical home of laugh therapy. What a riot. Haven't even spoken to Cassandra since. The poor gal. And what's worse is now I'm a bit bitter over the incident. And bitter does rhyme with titter, does it not? That just got you, eh? I believe that under the direct circumstances, I believe that under the direst, excuse me, of circumstances, that I have not only held on to my humor, but I would say I have a keener sense of the joy of sheer laughter than anyone you might think to match me up against. And go ahead, I dare you. Just you try to look at the choices, and as competitively as you can. I would win, hands down. I mean, come on. Look what I'm wearing, for Pete's sake. And like I mentioned, Pete's not even here. Take my hair, for example. How does this mess not bring you to tears? And just have a gander at the eclectic set of knickknacks I've collected over the years. That now, right here, that live now, right here, on my living room shelf. The guffaws they've elicited. And there are, as always, the dozen or so thumbtacks I keep head down on the ottoman. Granted, I used to have a lot more company than I do these days, but that was worth a gold mine every single time some poor sot went for it. I mean, who sits on an ottoman anyway, for Pete's sake? And he's not even, well, you get my point, I am sure, he says as he elbows his pal in the ribs. I just dare you to tell me that I'm the only one left laughing on this here planet. In fact, I double dog dare you. Kind of weird poem.